Well, hello. It looks like we have gone live, folks. Thank you so much for being here. We'll get started with this comeback yoga class in just under 5 minutes. So, if you are standing by and would like to grab yourself a yoga mat or an exercise mat and maybe something to sit on, it could be a chair or it could be a towel or a blanket folded up or even a pillow. And we'll get started at the top of the hour. In the meantime, I'd like to share just a little reading with you from a book called The I Rest Program for Healing from Richard Miller. And this is in chapter 3, Healing and Wholeness. Traditional therapies are typically designed to address and resolve the symptoms that are associated with what is wrong with you as you undergo treatment for PTSD. What is wrong with you is only one side of the coin or one part of the wholeness that your reality contains. Continuing to focus only on what's wrong will increase the feelings of helplessness and hopelessness related to trauma. For complete healing to take place, the healing focus has to include the what is right side of the coin as well. The I Rest is a program that helps you heal what is wrong while also enabling you to experience yourself as whole and healthy from the beginning of your healing process. The I-REST practices are designed to address both what's wrong and what is right to resolve PTSD so that you can get back on track with your life. What is the difference that I-REST makes? I-REST helps you explore and experience within what's already whole and harmonious. This is the part of you that has never been injured and isn't in need of healing. As one soldier said, I wanted to face my worst nightmares, my shame, my guilt, my judgment about myself, until Ira showed me that there was a basic goodness about me, that I was okay in spite of all that I was feeling. Wholeness is your essential nature. But when you don't recognize and experience your wholeness, no matter how much you heal your symptoms, you will always feel that something's amiss. When you realize and feel your wholeness, you recognize within yourself an indestructible resource. This indestructible resource is what allows you to weather the deepest challenges you'll face in life, including the journey to heal post traumatic stress. Healing post traumatic stress takes patience, persistence, and perseverance. It takes time to put into place the necessary internal and external resources that support you to fully address the trauma inducing events that you've lived through. And by embracing your basic nature of wholeness, which has never been injured or harmed and doesn't need repair or healing, you gain a trustworthy internal friend that will help you heal what has been injured and harmed and what does not and what does need repair and healed. So how do you discover your wholeness? You discover it through experiencing just feeling of being, which is a universal felt sense or nonverbal inner knowing that we all experience. From birth and throughout every moment of your life, being is a quiet background presence that always with you, but that can go unnoticed until it's directly pointed out. Take a few moments now to feel back through your life and notice how the feelings of being has always been with you. It's something that you directly experience, something that is beyond your ability to describe with words, yet undeniably present and accessible to you, no matter what else you are experiencing. So, we'll work a little bit on that today in our guided relaxation at the end so that it can really land and resonate with you. And then you get a really felt sense of what he's talking about there. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get our class started today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so glad that you're here. I am Tonya, and this is a comeback yoga class. Comeback Yoga is a nonprofit organization based out of Colorado, and we serve veterans, active duty military, your support team, really anyone that's ever served in the military or that has supported anyone that has been in the military. And Comeback Yoga has classes online. We have classes in person. We're basically available to 24 hours a day. So this is about a 45-minute all levels class. So it's likely that you are here because you have maybe tried yoga, maybe you've never tried yoga. Although we do have beginner series here on the class and the platform if you are a brand new beginner. Otherwise, I'll be offering some variations of some usual poses that we do in yoga, and I'll show you some more difficult, more challenging versions, maybe some adaptations that can serve you and your body and what you're needing today. And know that you may come to the mat tomorrow and you might be needing something more difficult, more challenging. Or you may come to the mat tomorrow and feel like, no, I'm not feeling it. I just want to do something that's not as strenuous and challenging. So, offering all of those options for you today. So let's go ahead and do it. Again, you'll need an exercise mat, maybe something to stay hydrated with, glass of water. And then again, I'm sitting on a cushion, so it might be a pillow or a blanket for you. And we are going to start on our backs if that feels like a safe thing for you to do, comfortable. If that's not comfortable for you, then you could, of course, be sitting, but we will eventually meet on our backs. All right. So you can have your knees bent if that feels better for your body. Maybe the legs are straight if that feels better for your body. And just placing your hand somewhere that you can feel how your body is breathing. So it might be on your chest, if that's where you notice your breath. It could be in the middle chest, like in the rib cage area above your navel, or it could be below your belly button, kind of where your abdomen is, thinking about your stomach area. And this is a way just for us to notice how our body breathes. So, just letting yourself settle here for just another moment here, just kind of feeling the surface supporting you, just kind of feeling the area beneath you. And as you breathe in now, notice any movement of your hands. Notice movement of your body. Notice movement of the clothing. Notice movement happening. And then as you breathe out, there's again movement happening where there may be a slight depression, the movement of hands moving towards the body or towards the floor, towards your body. So as you breathe in, feeling your body expanding, again, feeling your hands moving, feeling the clothing on your body moving. And as you exhale, feeling that same, but it's moving in a different direction, right? Moving towards the floor, towards the center of your body. And as you breathe in, feeling things moving away from your body, from the center of your body, whatever you might feel as the center, and just feeling that expanding outward and upward, maybe even slightly downward as you breathe in. And then as you breathe out, there might feel like there's a slight lift away from the floor of your back body. You might feel a slight contraction at your body, at your stomach. So let's take 3 more cycles of breath here, maybe even considering more expansion of the sides of your front and of your back. And as you breathe out, noticing that slight withdrawing inward. 3 or 2 more rounds. Feeling the slow, smooth quality of your breath, just allowing your breath to come in, allowing your breath to leave. Last one, expanding and then releasing. All right. So let's go ahead and stretch out. Legs grow long, arms grow long. You might feel a spontaneous yawn come into your body. Just stretching out, depending on what time of day it is for you. Maybe more yawning. All right, and then just kind of look some side to side bending, and just moving left and right and left, towards the camera, away from the camera, depending on how your body is situated. All right. And then grab the back of one leg, bringing your knee into your chest. And just hold that leg in there. Extend out through your bottom leg, pressing out through your heel. Keep a hold of the back of your leg. Straighten your leg towards the ceiling. Straightening out your arms and rotate your ankle here, rotating your foot around. It's like you're drawing a circle kind of on the ceiling. It could be more of an oval, but it might feel more like a square depending on how rigid your ankle is. And then let's go the other direction. Mobility in the joints, super important for just overall mobility in our bodies. Okay, and then bend and straighten that leg. It's as if you're kicking your heel to the ceiling and then kicking your heel down to your body. Just moving up and down a few times here. All right. And then that same leg, go ahead and bend it, holding on to the front of your leg here, and circle your leg around. So using your arm, kind of getting two for one here, right? So we're waking up the shoulder, the arm, even the elbow. I guess it's kind of a three for one. We're getting the hip to move, we're getting the shoulder and the arm. So just notice all of that and then change directions. Noticing your attention on the movement. Notice your attention on your breath. All right, wonderful. Stretch out full body, reaching for the full length of your body, maybe even touching something on the wall behind you, or just touching your fingertips together, rubbing those fingertips together, maybe even touching your toes together, your feet together, feeling the extremities of your body. And let's go ahead and bring our other knee into our chest. Feel that sensation maybe on the front of your hip, maybe on the back of your body. Just track the sensation in your body that's occurring at this moment. Maybe feeling a little compression even at your stomach. So if you've just eaten, maybe this doesn't feel so great. Ideally, you at least wait 2 hours after a meal before you uh, do a yoga practice. All right, we'll straighten out that leg, straightening out our arm, and rotating that foot around, drawing a circle. You can think of your toes like a pencil and maybe drawing a rainbow overhead, maybe drawing several rainbows if you're just going in half circles. I've It's very rare that I've ever seen a full rainbow. I don't know, have you ever seen a full rainbow like a like a circle? I don't know if that's even possible. Is it? I don't know. Leave a note in the comments later. Okay, bending your knee, straightening and lowering. I suppose it could be possible. I'm gonna have to do some research now on that. So bending and straightening your leg. All right, and then holding on to the front of your leg, drawing a circle now with your knee. So it's almost as if your knee now is drawing that colorful circle, kind of like spiral. And you feel your shoulder warming up, your elbow warming up. And I think then after this, we're going to be good. So let's go the other direction. And I think our warm up will be complete other than our neck. All right, wonderful. Let's hug our knees into our chest, lifting the head up towards our knees. And then placing your feet down to the floor, just your arms resting to your sides, maybe your knees resting against each other, and then turn your head left and right. So here's our final joint of the neck, head, left and right, side to side, noticing creaks in your neck, and then holding your head at the center, maybe just a little nodding, head up and down, chin lifting and lowering. You can go slow or fast, just whatever feels all right on your neck. Again, tracking that sensation. All right, let's take a moment of stillness, just kind of noticing body maybe feeling a little tingling, more vitality coming into the body now, a little bit more awake, and just kind of noticing all the sensations that are present with those movements. All right, bring yourself on upright to, uh, let's turn around and come into a downward dog, shall we? All right, so we've been on our back quite a bit here now, about 10 minutes. So might feel a little lightheaded. If that is the case for you, then take a moment, maybe even resting in child's pose. In fact, if you want to join me in child's pose, bringing the knees out a little wider, the hips towards the heels. If this bothers your knees, then keep those hips a little higher. You could also have that pillow or blanket behind your knees, the back of the knees. Sometimes it's the front of the legs that don't like it, but the compression at the knees can be reduced with a prop behind your knees. All right, let's come on up out of that and come into a downward dog. The hands are wide, like just like a starfish, so even spacing between the fingers. The middle finger more or less pointing towards the front of the mat. Tucking your toes under, lifting those hips up and back. And if your hamstrings feel really tight, take your feet as wide as the mat and bend your knees quite a lot. And then extend those legs longer. Now, maybe those heels going towards or to the mat, extending those arms long. And we'll just maybe lifting the heels up one at a time, taking a moment. Now, if that option doesn't feel good to you, you could also stay down on the ground with those arms extended. All right, we're just going to be here for one more moment. So, really feel those hands pressing down, feeling your body energize, and then walk your hands and feet towards one another. So, wherever you end up on the mat, that's where you are, and just meet yourself there. Letting your head drape over the toes, grabbing opposite elbows or shoulders, feeling the blood rushing to the head. Oh, let's bring in on a sneeze here for me. All right, let's roll all the way up. Boy, I'm just a mess this morning. Okay, standing up nice and tall, feeling that energy, feeling the blood maybe coming back down to or towards the feet. So do if you do feel lightheaded, just kind of notice that. So we take a moment, maybe grab onto something, touch the wall, just anything to keep you. If you need to come back down to the ground, I get dizzy, lightheaded a bit. Of course, I didn't eat breakfast this morning either, so that can do it. All right. So standing up nice and tall, feeling the length of your body. Let's reach those arms up overhead, wiggle the fingers, maybe even rub the fingers together, and maybe even a little jazz hands. Okay. All right. And then maybe look up to the ceiling if that feels all right in your body. Just a big stretch here. All right. Wonderful. And then bring the palms together, bend the knees, and hinge forward, folding over your legs. Okay, stepping back to a plank position, options abound. So you can bring your knees down to the ground, you can bring your forearms down to the ground. Those are options for your plank. Not here for very long this first time. So just take one more moment to notice what is the best position for you. And then we'll all meet with the knees on the ground, coming all the way down onto your stomach. Bring your hands right there under your head with the elbows out wide. You're going to lift up into a locust pose. The legs extend and lift. The upper body lifts with the head still resting on the hands. And lowering your head, shoulders, torso, arms, and legs down to the ground. Let's lift everything up again. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, and lower down. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, and lower down. All right. Come onto your forearms and clasp your hands here. Tuck your toes under and pull your chest, your stomach, and then your hips away from the floor. So the only thing that's on the ground are the knees, the toes, and the forearms, the upper body. Okay, so from here now, if it feels okay, you can lift one knee, maybe the other knee, and voila, magically, you are in a forearm plank. If it feels better to keep those knees down, then do so. All right, and let's hold this for 2 more breaths, folks. Do what you can. Meet yourself there. Last breath. All right, take those knees down. Press back to child's pose, stretching out the back. 2 more breaths here. All right, let's find downward dog again. Lifting those hips up and back, noticing your toes, noticing your hands, even looking up to the hands, maybe looking to the toes. And then walk your hands and feet together, meeting them together. Maybe your arms are long enough, your hands can rest on the feet. If those arms aren't that long, then maybe your hands are resting on your shins. Maybe your hands are on your thighs. We're all built differently, right? So you be you. That's what you were meant to be, is you. Okay. Let's rise all the way up to standing, feeling the full length of the body again. Maybe reaching those fingers up, trying to touch the ceiling. Maybe you can. And then lower your arms down to your sides. All right. Nice and tall. Feeling the full length of your body here from the top of your head to the soles of your feet. Let's repeat. Inhale, stretch up. Palms coming together, bend the knees, come forward to the mat, hands at the ground. This time we're going to lift halfway, extending your spine long, your spine and torso parallel to the floor. Feel the strength not only in your back, strength in the legs, strength in the arms, but also in your front. So the core slightly engaged. How do you do that? We do that by a slight exhalation out through the mouth. All right, good. Hands come down to the ground. We're going to find our plank again. Option is to, again, maybe bring those knees down, maybe the forearms down, maybe you're feeling stronger and you stay where with me. If you're feeling like, no, not today, then bring those knees down, bring the forearms down. We got 2 more breaths here, folks. This is our challenge. We're going to hold it just a little bit longer. Push yourself away from the floor. Try to resist gravity. Okay. And then go ahead and bring those knees down. Come on to your belly. This time we're going to bring the hands back behind the shoulders. You could always do that first pose we did. Otherwise, meet me in a cobra pose. Going to push those hands down, keep those elbows bent, and then tuck your chin slightly. So your back does a lot of the work here, but the neck is nice and relaxed. We're not judging the chin forward. And then go ahead and come on down. Press yourself up to a tabletop position and then move back into child's pose with the knees moving out wide, the feet coming towards or to one another. We're here for 2 more breaths. That compression at the belly just kind of enhances the um, diaphragmatic breath, belly breath. But if it doesn't feel good, it does maybe push some things upwards, right? And might cause a little bit of indigestion. So don't have those hips back as far. All right, let's come back up, downward facing dog. Okay, walk your hands and feet together. Maybe you're actually coming to the front of your mat this time, a little bit warmer. All right, let's rise all the way up to standing, full stretch of your body. Reach up, 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 and then lower your arms down. Okay, let's repeat that. And we're going to add a side plank. And then we'll get into some warrior poses. Okay, inhale, stretch up, reach up nice and tall, palms together. Exhale and fold forward, hands to the wherever they land. And then extend your spine long, bringing the hands up the legs a little higher. And release your hands to the ground. Step back into that plank position. Take one knee down to the ground, side plank here, turning towards the long side of your mat, maybe lifting that top leg. All right, and bring it down. You could also, instead of that knee down, you could have the knee off. Okay, so let's do the other side, knee down or not. Maybe you're choosing to lift your knee on this side. Maybe it's the top leg that's going to feel the most challenging when lifted. Okay, folks, let's bring it back to plank. Your choice. You've got the knee choice, you've got the forearm choice. All right. And then let's all meet onto our stomach again. This time, we're going to do upward dog. So those hands slide back behind the shoulders again, elbows bent, and you're going to push yourself all the way up away from the floor, including those hips and those legs. Of course, remember you have that cobra option or the locust option. Okay, let's press up and back and find our child's pose again, just for 2 breaths here. All right, downward facing dog. Okay, this time we're going to lift one leg up into the air and bring that leg forward, finding a lunge position. Now, if that felt too much, then help that leg come forward. All right, drop your back heel down to the ground, turning your toes to the long edge of the mat. Press yourself up. Warrior 2. Extending those arms out nice and long. All right. And then side angle, bringing your forearm to your thigh, top arm next to the ear. All right. And then taking it down to the ground. Step that leg back. All right. This is the only one time that I'm going to have my back to you. I don't normally like to do that, but we're going to do that today because I did not plan that very well. Okay. So your other leg is going to come forward. You can grab your leg and bring it forward literally. Yep. That's the challenge in this all levels class as well. Okay, drop your back heel down, turning your toes towards the long edge of your mat, and come up into that warrior 2, looking past the fingertips. Now, extend forward and bring that top arm up next to the ear. Bring your hands down and let's step back to our downward dog. Okay, so come to the plank of your choice and then to the side plank of your choice. Could be knee down, taking that top arm up. Maybe the top leg lifts. Come to plank. Feel steady. Feel the arms getting stronger. And then take your side plank to the other side. Come back to plank. We're going to take that belly down, back bend of choice. So maybe you stay in the locust pose as you come down, lifting things up. Maybe you do the cobra with the elbows bent, or maybe straighten those arms and come all the way into an upward dog. All right. Downward facing dog. Okay, let's change it up here. Walk the feet to the hands, forward fold, and then lift halfway, extending spine long. Exhale, fold over the legs. Rise up the full length of your body, reaching up to the ceiling, and then lower your arms to your sides. Okay, so we'll do our warrior sequence, but this time facing the long edge of the mat, stepping those feet out nice and wide, and turning one leg out for our warrior 2. Inhale, open the arms, settle down. Maybe you stay up high. Maybe the knee wants to only bend a certain way because you start to notice maybe it feels challenging, maybe a little pain or discomfort, or maybe you come even lower as long as the knee is vertical over that ankle and the shin is vertical. Stretching out through the arms, All right, let's find our side angle. So reaching towards that knee and bringing the arm up overhead. Now, if you want more of a challenge, you could bring your hand down to the inside of your foot. hmm Okay, and then come back to warrior two. All right, sweet. Let's switch sides, turning the leg out, your other leg out. Inhale to open the arms, look past your fingertips. Exhale and bend your knee. Again, finding the just right positioning for your body as you reach out nice and long. All right, let's take our side angle, forearm to the thigh, top arm next to the ear. Maybe your hand comes down. You do you, right? Reaching it out. Okay, and then let's come back up and straighten out. Whew, folks. Okay, turn those toes in, heels out, fold over your legs. Hands resting anywhere on your legs, wherever they reach. Maybe they reach to the floor. Maybe you have a block. And we'll take 2 or 3 breaths here. Option is to even bring those legs closer together so that it's a narrower stance, maybe easier to access, finding the stretch in your body and sensation in your legs. If this causes dizziness with the head below the heart, then keep your head up high. All right, let's rise, 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 rise. Take your time and let's walk it in. Okay, just take a moment to pause. Take a moment to check in, just having those arms resting to the sides, feet planted underneath us, and just noticing, tracking any sensation that's present in your body, noticing the rhythm of your breath. You might even feel your heart beating. Just notice. All right, we're going to do just one balancing pose now, feeling hopefully settled and planted. You can be near a wall, you could have a chair, anything that's sturdy, counter in the kitchen, whatever. So, from this position of stability, I want you to bring your one hand onto the top of your head. You're going to push your head and hand together. So that creates some length, right? You feel taller, you feel just maybe even more confident. And as you feel that confidence pressing up, I want you to shift just a little bit into one foot, but keep the head pressing up into the hand. And then you're going to bring your heel to your ankle or slide your foot up to the calf. And then keep your head pressing up into your hand. If that feels like now you've grown taller, then release that hand, maybe bringing the palms together. Or if you got one hand on the wall, one hand in front of the chest, you could also extend your arms out. There's lots of options. And still imagine, though, your head pressing up into your hand. All right, come on down. So balancing on one foot is not normal, right? We're meant to um well, we were born with 2 legs, maybe not all of us. So it's a challenge, right? Unless it's something we're used to. We're just not our bodies just aren't designed for this. So being on one foot can be very challenging. So just notice that, and if you don't feel like you want that challenge today, then skip out of it altogether. So let's try the other side. If you're with me, if you're not, then take a moment, grab yourself a drink, and stand by. All right, so let's do the other side, pressing the head into the hand and bringing your foot either onto the ankle for that little kickstand. That's why they develop kickstands on bikes, right? Because bikes can't stand up without that kickstand. Okay. All right. And maybe again, you're choosing the arm position like so. All right, folks. Wonderful. Just let it go. You could even kind of feel your body just relax, letting those arms and shoulders. We'll do some bear swings here. So lifting the heel, pivoting on the toes, swinging those arms side to side, letting them kind of flop against your hips, kind of leading with the hips, and then coming down slowly to center. All right, and then just kind of roll down to the ground and have a seat. We're going to come into a straddle position. So maybe sitting on a cushion or a towel here. I'll show from the side. This just helps to elevate the seat and taking your legs out into a straddle. This might give you the sensation that is desired, where you feel a little stretch. For a little bit more sensation, use your hands to push yourself slightly forward. Stretch out through the heels. Maybe you bring your hands forward. You just track what's happening within your body as you extend forward. Feeling stretch in the legs, stretch in your back and hips. We want to think about the extension, our spine and torso growing long rather than rounding forward. That's pretty typical. That's going to put some pressure at the low discs. So we want to find that nice long extension through our torso. All right, and coming on up, we'll bring the soles of those feet together for a cobbler's pose. Sitting up tall, maybe a little bit of side to side movement. If this bothers those knees, you can hold them up. Don't worry about trying to get them down. We want to just keep pressing our feet together, using our hands once again to create that little micro tilt in our pelvis so that we find more length and more extension. It's as if our chest is coming forward rather than down. So, leading with the chest, the neck is long, your chin just in a neutral position as you extend forward, and then tracking where you notice sensation here. Are you feeling it at the back? Are you feeling it at your knees? It's probably happening at a lot of different places. So you just notice. And you want to make sure that you're not going beyond the range of motion. All right. And come on up. Straighten one leg forward. You could also tuck that knee under. I'm going to show it with one leg forward. Your other leg comes across. We'll do a seated twist. So sitting up tall, using your back arm, so the same arm as your front knee, goes behind you and acts as like a little support system back there. And as you sit up tall, you just kind of rotate from the inside first, using an exhalation to guide you around. And maybe you end up hooking your elbow around your knee and rotating, seeing what's on the wall to the side or the back of you, and calling in your mind's eye what's there, texture, a favorite object, and breathing. 2 or 3 more breaths here. And slowly coming back around. Pause at the middle here. And we'll do the other side. So that bottom leg, or the other leg going straight. Bringing your foot across. Sometimes it helps to bring your leg even over because sometimes I see that people struggle with getting their leg across. So think about where that leg is actually situated, and then you might be able to bring it over better. All right, and same principle here. We're going to use our back hand to grow taller, and with your exhalation, turn to one side. Turning and looking over your shoulder. The shoulders are broad, the collarbones broad. All right, and come on back to center. Okay, coming off of your cushion or whatever you're using, and take both knees off to one side. So, like so. If you are mirroring me, then you're facing towards this plant over here. Okay. So your bottom leg can be out like so. You can be tucked in like so, just whatever is available in your body. You could also have it straight like so. I'm going to lift the hips up like so and forward, pressing them forward. Now take that top arm and reach it alongside the ear. Maybe even take your head back. You should feel stretch along the whole front side of that top hip, maybe even the waist. And come on down. Taking your legs to the other side, choosing your leg position, and then lifting the hips up and forward. To really get the stretch, you might lean back slightly. And come on down. All right, let's make our way onto our back. Again, maybe having something under your head. Placing your feet about the width of your mat with the knees bent. And lower those legs to one side. And it's the same position that we just did, basically. So imagine pressing your hips forward, just like you were pressing them forward in that last position. So pressing the hips forward and then extending your arms behind your head as you press your hips forward. And switch. Those feet remain about mat width. Knees lower to the other side. Press your hips forward to the wall as your arms come back behind you, maybe even grabbing your wrist. Keeping that top knee about in line with the hip so it's not coming to the floor. Staying about in line with the hip. And then coming back to center. Place one ankle on the opposite knee. This might be a nice stretch for the hip here. Otherwise, bring your arms through to the back of your leg and hug in for that hip stretch here. and switch. All right. And come on down. So we have arrived at our final stage of class, our final relaxation. I'll be here for just a few moments. And if you were here for my earlier reading about the feeling of wholeness, I'm going to walk you through that now. So you could be sitting up, laying down on your side, your stomach, or your back, just whatever is going to be the most comfortable for you to listen to this kind of guided uh, meditation. So, what I'd like for you to do is to just notice right now just the way that you are resting on the surface and just to feel yourself right now as just a feeling of just being as you are right now. And when you are just simply being right now without going into who you are, any stories or memories, just notice what is currently present, maybe even the spaciousness. And when you tap into your feeling of being right now, the spaciousness, the expansiveness, feeling complete, a sensation of the surface, air across your skin. And this profound sense of being, the being of being here and now, and the being of everywhere. This wholeness, this peace. Now, if it feels okay to do so, begin to blink your eyes open and close, noticing what you see, what you hear, while also feeling that wholeness, that spaciousness, and that peace of being. And if you feel ready to come up out of this little meditation, do so with that felt sense, just remembering that wholeness that you are as when you are just being. So you can carry that feeling of being with you throughout the day, that it's not necessarily, it has nothing to do with where you are, but internally who you are and that that's always with you, always with you. Sometimes it might be shrouded by thoughts or feelings, but that felt sense of wholeness and that being is present always. Thank you so much for being here today on behalf of Comeback Yoga. All of us here, we are so grateful for you for being here. Thank you for participating. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, do so now. It doesn't cost anything. If you can share this practice, please do so. That means the world to us. And finally, if you have the means to contribute financially or know someone that does, then please, we accept that as well with all of our gratitude. So I hope to see you next time. All right. Have a great rest of your day.